fuck I'm going. I gotta hit the pineal gland, the pineal. I don't even know how to pronounce the shit, but I do it. Drop the bitch. Drop the mic. Pass it off.
Yo,
That
this.
rhyme failed.
See, this kid said he was my son, but I was really fucking spun. Like, how is this true? And then I said, you can miss me with that bullshit. Get the fuck away from me, kid. You ain't mine. Fuck it. Yo, he said, but dad. Fuck it. Okay, dude.
Yo, my dad kicked me out. He said, kick the bucket, fuck it. So I trucked it. Hit the highway, do it my way. Get real high all the time. Feeling like I'm about to die. So I fly to the spirit realm. And I dwell on the past. But the shit can't last. So I blast and I keep moving forward. Ugh.
Can we change the beat?
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah.
Sounds like some like jazzy.
It's like kind of lulling me asleep.
Yeah, exactly. Turned up.
Turned up.
Oh shit.
Oh, this is
Oh
pretty cool.
shit.
And if this,
Funky.
if,
Got a bit
this,
of flute.
if this sucks, you always cut the. I don't have to start it again.
Yeah. Oh wait, we can't be live with playing music, can we?
Oh, I guess you can't cut it because
If it's live? Or,
Why not? Well, we're not gonna get like DMCA'd or anything.
don't think so?
No one's watching.
It's like, yeah, we
Yo.
haven't made any money or anything. Like, what do you want? Like,
yo, we don't got nothing, but they'll still sue us. Motherfucker, you could blue us. These lawyers, they be so corrupted. They be trying to get in my pocket, so I was a rough kid. I had to get up and do it. Blah, 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 blah. Hit it. Get it.
We got nothing right now.
Shit it. Shit it. Do it again.
yo, see, I got in an accident. Then I got part of my knee removed. And I'm still trying to. Yo, see, I live my life. Even though I'm about 6 inches shorter on the right side. Don't matter. Fuck it. I'm gonna keep on eating till I get fatter. Don't have another chef's platter. Fuck you, motherfucker. Get out my face. I'm trying to eat out my face. Fucking. Yo. Give me some more honey buns.
Yo, I'm eating edibles till I'm gone. Going to outer space, I'm fucking King Kong. I'm the master of the bong. They call me the bong lord, motherfucker. All the weed adorers. All the weed lovers and admirers of the weed. I don't know why I keep talking about weed. Fuck. Yo, my mind is off. Nah. I don't know. I don't think I got no more rhymes. I'm
No more
done.
rhymes?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
fucked.
no more
I'm
rums.
done.
Are we live or?
Yeah, we're just making a fool. of
Are we
ourselves.
live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
we
shit.
live.
I'm looking stupid right now.
But we're live just for like
A few minutes.
just the last couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This fucking shit.
Well, let's do this.
It's on.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Kilbros
We
the
back.
podcast, episode 10. I'm Brandon.
I'm Rory.
Billy.
Men.
Yo, so the world's fucking on fire right now, eh? It's fucking crazy.
There's just so much shit going on. One thing after another seems like, you know, like what's next?
What do you guys think about it? How-
Does the
how do
general
you-
state of affairs?
Yeah, how does it make you feel? So everything's crazy, everything's wild.
Makes
but
me feel a little nervous.
How does
to
that
be
make you
honest.
feel? You feel unsettled?
Whoa,
Yeah,
you see
definitely.
that rainbow?
Oh, dude.
Yo, that's a jank ass. Oh, look at that rainbow.
There's a big
Yeah,
rainbow.
there is. Yeah.
Sure.
The video was
I know
nice.
this sounds really off.
This is
Right.
so random.
Off key host on the episode, but that's a big ass rainbow.
Yeah.
You could show them. Couldn't you just move the camera?
I feel like the rainbow. What I mean by that is I feel optimistic. I feel bright about the
You,
current situation.
you think that rainbow's a metaphor?
For the golden path ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're in a pretty wonky, janky ass spot in human civilization, but
My God.
oh shit, yeah. But I think despite how confusing and how precarious things feel right now, I think we're actually in like a sick transition period. Like,
I would agree.
like we're gonna about to. I think like our society's gonna like just like
So
because
I'll,
of like upcoming changes of like cultural, societal, technological things.
I agree with you on that bit, but do you want to chime in, Roy?
I get like, oh shit, totally lost my train of thought. Fuck. What you just said?
Well, like, so you were saying, like, you kind of, it's unsettling, right? Like just the
Yeah.
state
Okay.
of
So
things,
yeah, like the fact that we're in a transition period. If it is going to be a true transition, it's going to take a lot of turbulence,
yeah.
and so that's the thing.
It's gonna take a lot of
nervous about.
work.
Yeah, it's like,
I
which
think that's
I
the
want
big-
the end result, but it's like
Yeah.
maybe not a lot of people are gonna make it through the transition. Like it,
Yeah.
if there is a legitimate change in power, it's
Well-
not gonna go easily.
Yeah, I mean, you look at history, right? And, history repeats itself often. And, the greatest amount of change that you've seen throughout, different countries and governments is violent change. They had to be violently overthrown, like kings had to be taken down, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's scary, but I feel like it's a part of change, like real change is,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the little, it gets
But it
a little
doesn't have
rocky.
to be violent.
It doesn't
And
have to be
and at the
violent.
same time, this is like, I agree with what you're saying, man. Like, in all of history, like every,
But if you look at more recent history, there's more cases, especially in the West, of more peaceful
Yeah,
revolutions.
but this is
Right.
different.
Yeah.
Like thinking about Poland, right?
I think this is different,
Solidarity movement. Think about Estonia, all the Baltic countries. They actually had peaceful movements leading from their Soviet period into their current democratic state. And yes, there will be like demonstrations where people get hurt, but I don't think it's going to be like civil war or like that kind of intensity.
No, I agree, and like not to say violence as an all-out like just murder. I mean, as things get a little, it's like
people
violence
get
and ingredients.
assassinated. People get like, struggle for power. It creates vacuums.
Yeah.
It's the transition, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying like things are just gonna get a little rocky. Not necessarily like crazy.
Well, the
violence,
thing is that, well, the way I see it is, it will, if you're not prepared for it, it will be violent. Because if there's nothing, there will be that vacuum. But if you have like, if you come in prepared, and you know that it's coming, and you take, so like the way I see it is like, this is a golden opportunity for us to like, change shit, like we just said, right? But like if you don't actually get in there and put in the work, nothing's gonna actually change. You might have a technological revolution, but nothing will actually like, change. I don't even know where I'm going with that thought. I'm really stoned.
You're just saying that for all the good vibes that I'm feeling, we just got to put the work ourselves as well
Yeah.
to make this change happen too.
Yeah.
Like, and it goes for the rest of society. Say like this introducing.
It won't come free, man. We won't get change for free.
Yeah,
It's
no, we won't get change. Well,
And I think generally like the way we've been living, we've been in like this comfortable bubble where it's like people. I don't think people really understand the effort they're gonna have to put in. Like there's gonna take an effort, like a real effort. What does that exactly look like? I don't know. I'm not gonna try to like say, but it's gonna take a lot
like
of
ultimately, what we would have to do is just stop using the system.
We can't
stop participating.
Yeah, exactly. We can't participate. We can't be getting involved in this, dude. All this shit that's getting stirred up. All these issues that are getting stirred up, we put our energy into them, and it takes us away from like the main conversation, like what we should really be talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'm like, if you want to talk about like the race issues that's been currently going on, it's no one's denying, or no one should be denying, that there's been race issues, or there's been systemic racism, or like anything like that.
Some people are,
there's been
for
a lot of
sure.
people denying.
Well, no, but I'm saying like I'm saying you shouldn't, like that's real, like that happened, like you can't say this didn't happen to these people, or this, that, whatever. But is that the discussion we should be having right now? Because the way I see it, the race issues are for people who didn't grow up in like diverse culture. Like there's no race issues with us and like anybody we know. The race issues are being imposed on us. We don't have race issues, but we're being made to feel like we got race issues. Like it's something that's like our problem. It's not.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty like that's a view I feel like is really
But-
centric just to yourself.
But even in the States,
Yeah.
even in like the communities where this shit's like really like uproaring right now, right? It's like amongst their community, like they don't really. I mean, yeah, there is race issues, but like not like.
I mean, like, are you a member of that community? You're not.
No, but
So how can you speak?
I'm making this judgment based off just what I've been seeing people like in other communities. Like a lot of black people aren't happy with the uproar. You know, a lot are because it's just like anything. If you don't have a purpose for anything and you give somebody a purpose, they're gonna latch onto it. You know, it's no different than feminism or the LGBT or all that type shit.
But I mean, like, I think ultimately they're not.
Well, you know, I see though, despite what you're saying, I see people on the streets, and there's a lot of people on the streets. And like, are you saying is that being orchestrated by someone, or are you saying like this movement as it is?
No, I'm just saying, like, should we really be like, we gotta be careful. I'm just saying we gotta be careful where we put our attention and energy. Because, like, say we focus on the bigger issue, those things would get solved inherently. Bigger issue being like taking advantage of the systemic change that we have like right now.
Well, I think that's what people are trying to do.
Yeah, no doubt. I no doubt. Yeah.
But using police is probably the best way to do it. Like I argue maybe not the best way, but it's such a great way of doing it because you're
Using police?
No, you're negating the police because
Oh,
you're
so
actually you're going after one of the enforcers of the power that the state monopolizes one of the things one of the manifestations of the state power. You're going after police, and if you can negate state power through the physical arm, through one of their physical arms, yes, they still have the military, but that's different. The police, in a lot of ways, I think at a day-to-day
I don't think it's
level,
addressing the issue. It's just like addressing the symptom.
I think movements just have to kind of go thing at a time. Like, what do you think? Like, what would be the bigger picture after this than because the system? I think people are saying we're going to take command of enforcing our own day-to-day lives. Like, I think that's a pretty big, taking grab of power. Yes, take Seattle for example, right? They've taken control of that area. But of course, it's not all over the world. But now they know that slice of their world is under their own terms, at least seemingly, or to themselves. And is that playing to someone else's hands? I don't know. But if you're talking about them wanting to take change and make change of how they live their lives, literally, they've done it. And if if you don't think that's true, then I don't know what else to say. But yeah, but I think it starts somewhere small and it continues to grow. And I don't buy that argument. What you're saying, it's a.
So you just think that's the most appropriate use of our time is to deal with police and.
I wouldn't necessarily.
And you think that's the best best way of doing things?
I think that.
Are you really
that
considering?
A way for this emerging faction of humanity.
So how does that look to you?
Score a win.
But how does that look?
If you score a win, that faction can continue to build. If it does pivot to what you're saying, that'd be great. But I think the whole police angle is there's so much energy behind it, so it's just going to keep on going forward like that. And I don't know if you can really criticize people either for behaving the way they are about this issue, because it's such an issue that's so strongly pervasive in American society, in their emotional fabric too of these people's psyches.
Because they're fucking taught it. They're taught to, man.
Yeah. What do you mean they're taught to?
They're constantly reminded every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way you treat them, people. Yeah, people treat them differently. They're constantly reminded. Just let this shit go and focus on other shit, man.
But the thing is, it's not like they've won yet. They have to keep on doing this until.
You will win, though.
What do you mean you will? No,
Okay, I just say
yeah. Let's hear. I want to hear Rory's perspective. Yeah.
So I kind of understand what Billy's saying. He's if we go for the real issue, the whole system in general and what's behind it, and then this whole idea of systemic racism would get solved as well, because you're completely dismantling the system.
There would be no systemic racism because you just fucking threw it in the trash.
Because that whole system that
fresh slate,
clearly not benefiting black people, right?
Fair playground.
And then I get that, but what's also wrong with just taking steps towards that also, right?
Well, no, there's nothing wrong. I'm only suggesting is when you have this golden opportunity it seems like the fucking fabric of society is just unwoven.
You know what?
And you have an opportunity.
I feel Billy, your angle is you're looking at step, let's say 10, and what's happening right now is step 2 of this transition.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. You're looking at it a really long linear process.
My real argument isn't about steps. It's about the fact that there's no emotional weight to what you're talking about, because
Well, there is. 'Cause now you're discrediting people.
No.
'Cause there's a lot of-
Let me finish
there's a
my
lot of
point.
black people that would
Let me finish my
disagree
point.
with you.
Let me finish my point. The fact is that there's way more emotional power behind something like the police videos of you seen being put out there. If you were able to create an equivalent video of that, of what you're describing, so poignantly wrapped up in like a 5-minute clip, then what you're describing will have legs. But this is how society works. I'm just saying, if you're realistic about how our society operates, how our zeitgeist is, we take in media, consume it, we have mass
but
thoughts
we know
about
that's
it.
wrong, so why would you keep propagating that?
I'm not
Why would you
saying.
facilitate that?
One, I would question you. Why is that wrong? Two, that's just how things are. As
Oh,
far
yeah.
so are you trying to say I'm
Sorry,
going to try to go
so
against
are
the
you
grain of all of society in some way? That, like, if you can do it, I applaud you. You can do that, or you can work within knowing how society works.
You don't want to go against the grain because that's how fucking idiots have been trying to like take over. You can't win going against the grain. Everyone has to be on the same page.
Well, then, so why do you think what I just described as media being used to inform and manipulate people's opinions or is a bad thing?
Because
to me, it's more matter of fact that it is
Do you
a
think the
thing.
media really wants what's in our interest? Like the people that don't want us to dismantle power own media. So why would
I'm
you?
not talking about just big power media. I'm talking about, when I say media, I'm talking about umbrella, social media, decentralized media. I'm talking about all media. Because
then-
that's what it is.
Okay,
When you
well-
share a viral video,
okay,
and the word viral in itself. So I'm saying, like, you think that's evil? How we operate as humans is just evil?
And there's a lot more people that would agree with me than I think you seem to realize.
No, I'm saying that, like,
There's
this-
a lot of people, especially I find it's mostly black people. It's mostly white people and like people in power who have no actual sense of reality who are on your side of the argument.
No,
that-
I
that
think you're
see.
missing reality for what it is. Like, reality is this, like, okay, you know what? Let's backpedal a moment.
Yeah, I think we should just switch
Yeah.
topics for a
in
minute.
a rabbit hole on that one.
Because guys are getting kind of.
I think this is miscommunication. What it is. 'Cause
No. I know exactly what Billy's talking
Oh,
about.
I know what you're saying. We
Yeah,
just
I
have
don't think
different
it's anything
approaches,
like-
different
yeah.
ideals.
But I don't
No.
think you guys are going to reach any kind of middle ground.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So-
definitely not.
No, but I want to pick this apart more because I want to understand more, like this way of thought, like of like seeing it as like.
Well, I just see it as one, a waste of energy because you can solve the problem by tackling bigger problems, and two, you're giving power to something that was kind of dying out, you know, or you could let it die out by making these like the people making it relevant and are primarily, and they're making it relevant in like sick ways where they tie it to things where it just shouldn't even be like.
The way I feel like sometimes we're getting different feeds. The way I've seen people making the situation relevant is through positive contributions back to their society. I don't know what you're watching.
Oh, you just see a lot of different communities, like in the wakes of all this like shit going on. So you'll see different communities like, oh, we're gonna just, you know, they're minor things like who really gives a fuck, right? But it's like,
But, like, what?
Like we're just gonna change like naming conventions, or we're gonna change this, we're gonna change that. We're not gonna use these words no more in our business because, or we're gonna do this differently because of that. But they're only doing it for the sake of like, they're not doing it for actually doing good. They're doing it for like, you know, for whatever the reason is, like looking good in the media. Or
Okay,
like,
so you're saying there's
it's
like
always in vain, and
so
it's
you're
in
saying there's like a
vain.
face system appearing in American culture. In
I
a
don't know,
sense.
I
Because like if
Again-
for media for vain, because face is vanity.
Yeah.
Like the notion of face in a culture is like you want to look good, you want to make sure you have a prestige or good social standing amongst your peers or amongst perceived peers, so that you have a better life.
And
right?
look at like why are we talking about this right now? Well, we're talking about this because these people are flooding this like media with this shit. I get it. I get that there's events that happen, but that shit's always happening.
The stuff that I'm seeing you describe as like things that aren't really addressing the things as a whole, I see those just equally derided in the same news feeds that I'm getting. But what I'm seeing more highlighted are the things that are actually being changed in their communities. They're taking steps to making life better for people there day to day in a practical
You know
manner
what?
and how
If
they
people are
operate.
making changes, that's great. And you know what?
And that's what I see more of. I don't see a lot of this.
Well,
Every time I see someone being bullshit like Instagram that. I see it in a comical cringe post. I don't see it in a post that's like saying, "Oh, look how great I am." I always see it as a critical, mocking post of that very fact, and I think people are aware of that, and I think that's pretty evident because you're talking about it, and I think.
Well, you see a lot in tech community. It's huge in tech communities, like where it's just so phony. It's like there's a huge like in the tech community on like Twitter. There's a huge uproar and like you can just tell it's like phony compassion. It's like phony, like they're just trying to go with the trend. Kind of like if you go in their history, they never tweeted anything supporting the black community once. Talk about nothing in their life. Now they got like 60 tweets in like the last 2 weeks.
I guess. What if for some of them they just didn't know and now they're aware? How can you fault someone for that? If someone existed in a bubble for all their time and now live out of that bubble,
Because they're making this thing. The problem with it is not that there's.
And that's to assume that they're not doing anything else in their day-to-day life, that they're not changing their mode of thought or trying to influence other people.
I'm not saying there's a problem in that at all. I'm just saying like, why now? Like, you're gonna make such an it's just another, to me it's just another distraction. Like if people are doing good things and making changes, great, but that should be just going on.
It's
right?
now because there's a huge cultural story behind it that's being lived out day to day and now being spoken about in light. Like
and you know what, man? And you know what? Fair enough. Like I think, we could bring the race shit in. Actually, I think the race discussion could be a good thing and moving forward, changing the system and all that. But we gotta be careful when you start just like making radical changes and dismantling like governing police force. I don't know. Like, what do you think about that?
But isn't that what you would want, Bill? Like you're all for you want to talk about change?
No, because I think the way it's being addressed is the way I see it is everyone's gonna do like they typically do. They're gonna.
You want people to govern ourselves. This is the way to it.
No, I agree, but I feel like everyone's gonna put their energy into solving a symptom. And they're not going to actually make change, and they're going to applaud themselves like, oh, look what we did, and they're going to miss the golden opportunity.
I think what Billy's trying to get at is he wants to see like even greater level of change, like that ties to even higher levels of government versus just
not even necessarily greater level.
Layer.
It's just a different approach. Like it could take the same effort or whatever, but I see it as like you're putting your effort into you're attacking symptomatic things instead of taking the root issue of the disease.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you if you just take care of the symptoms, they're going to keep coming back.
It's like if you have fucking...
They're going to keep manifesting. They're going to keep coming back. You got to go to the root, or otherwise it's never going to heal.
But isn't that what they're trying to do right now?
Well, maybe, but you know what? We're always trying to do shit, and we fuck up, so...
Yeah, I think getting rid of police oppression for like the United States will go a long way for their society. It would be a huge burden. Yeah, there's still a lot of skeletons in the closet.
A lot of Americans disagree. Like, a lot of Americans would disagree.
Like, okay, when you say a lot of Americans, what should they feel like they should as a society, as American society?
Well, with everything in unrest and unstate and just uncertainty, I think that's just an unnecessary. Like, well, we're just going to start plucking the police.
But what do they put forward? Because they're just saying this is a waste of time. They must have something else in mind, right? Like, what is it? What does that look like?
I don't know. What do you think?
No, I'm asking you because
I don't know.
Well,
I'm just saying it's like on top of everything I said, just like I'm just questioning. I don't have a full opinion. I'm asking you. Do you have opinion so I can maybe build an opinion? I have no idea, but it's like, do you think that's an appropriate move? Just taking out police at a time like this?
To me, it's not so much about whether it's appropriate or not, but I'm just saying as a matter of fact of what it is happening right now. The way I see it is that
I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just asking, like, what do you think?
I think in their given case, it sounds about right. It sounds like there's a lot of strong grievances with the system. The system has a wide, far-reaching effect in their socio-economic status and like state as a person in their society. So yeah, it is a big deal.
Like I saw this video of this little black child that was just playing ball like in his driveway, and then he sees a cop car approaching, and he like literally hides behind the car, like they're so afraid of the police. You know what I mean? Like it's maybe
because
to us it's not
though.
like we don't maybe understand how big of a deal it is to them.
Of course, they're thought about it because they have strong evidence to why they should be afraid of the police.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, and then George Floyd's a perfect example, and that's what
But I think a lot of the times too, when shit goes south, it's because both sides were taught to fear each other. It's like a total miscommunication. Like the shit never has to happen. It always looks ridiculous when you look back at it. You know what I mean? Like the shit should have never happened. So
Yeah, of course.
So maybe instead of just dismantling the police, we just make sure everyone's not scared of each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, like, you know, you say that, but then you got guys like the guy that killed George Floyd, where he clearly like hates George for whatever reason, right?
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah, he actually
you can't, how do you
fucking worked with
prevent
him, right?
like a guy from hating a guy? Like, just
and that's not even a
out
race
of the
issue.
mouth.
And honestly, the police thing in America isn't just about race too. It's just about general misabuse of power.
And-
It's just abuse of power.
And I would think that's a part of my thing.
Like, you know Chris Dorner? Chris Dorner, the LA cop who turned turncoat to the LAPD and then ended up going on a shootout and a spree, did it because he felt slighted by the LAPD for the way they treated their own people.
Mhm.
Do you know the Chris Dorner story? Does
No.
anyone here know the Chris Dorner story?
No, I do not.
Do you even know what happened in the midst of the
I don't know Chris Dorner. so-
prior and after Chris Dorner? Oh my! So Chris Dorner, okay, was an American officer for the LAPD who found some issues with how the LAPD was were conducting themselves,
Like mistreating people.
mistreating people, abusing minorities, just
Okay.
abusing people in general. He essentially went rogue, where he resigned from the force and said he was going to attack members of the LAPD for not.
He said it openly, like
He said openly. He sent a letter
to the LAPD.
to the
Like, physically
LAPD
attack him?
Why the fuck would you warn them? Like,
because he wanted to make
code,
sure
dude.
that his intentions were known for why he was causing these attacks, why he was going out and doing what he did.
But how does that prove isn't? Wait, I'm confused.
No, because
So-
that's-
so
Because
he's-
he was
hold
just
on.
driven to.
So he's just this crazy fucking cop.
no, he was so appalled at how much misuse of power in the LAPD was being done against citizens. He was so disgusted by that he went rogue to
Oh, okay.
to get back at them.
Alright,
Like, how could you
alright.
treat your citizens like this?
Yeah, I get you. No,
Yeah,
I get you.
that's.
I get you.
damn.
But that's crazy. How far did he go? Like, how many?
Okay, let me just.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how have I never even?
How disgusted
I
must
kind
he
of
be?
You didn't
recognize
hear
his
about it
name, but-
because
Well, that's always been known, though, man. Fuck, that's been everyone like Tupac was saying in the '90s, man. The fucking police are the biggest gang in America.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude, 100%. They operate more like a gang these days.
Well, especially like you know,
everything is, man. It's
Okay,
human nature.
the
We
thing is,
gang together.
the
Everything's gang.
Right,
with
the
Dorner,
70s and 80s
the
was
Dorner,
slowly
his
broken.
motivation was that he was also pushed out of the LAPD. He didn't resign. My bad.
Oh,
Doesn't miss
he
that.
couldn't be part of the club, so he's like, "Fuck you guys."
No. He was dismissed. I think what I understand where the pretext was that he was trying to go against another cop on the abuse of someone, and because of that, he wasn't liked in the force.
So they're
stop
waiting
a-
for like any
stop a
chance
bad
to,
cop
like,
and then it's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
he ended up killing 5 white police officers.
Holy shit.
But let me tell you something.
Okay.
Okay. He. Think about how the police conduct themselves, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
intensity in which they investigate a criminal or a crime. This guy Dorner went on he went out, said he was gonna kill people, right? And I'm surprised you guys don't know about this. I'm surprised Min doesn't know about this. Is that we're not surprised about Min actually, but in the pursuit of of Dorner, the LAPD sent out squad after squad after squad. There's actually 2 separate shooting incidents that happened with the LAPD and the LAPD were shooting people who they thought were Chris Dorner. They
Jesus.
weren't. One of the
Oh my
incidences.
That's fucked.
One instances, they shot this mother and daughter.
What? How do you- what?
This Asian mother and daughter. Okay,
How do you
Asian mother and
mistake
daughter.
that?
So. And
it's Chris Dorner. Oh no, that's Chris Dorner. Oh shit.
Chris Dorner's coming in.
I just want to say, Chris Dorner is like a 6 foot plus black dude, built. Okay, just for optics. So you have to understand, he looks like this guy's. So I don't know how you mistake 2 Asian ladies for this.
Yeah. How?
But they shot up the truck that 2 Asian ladies in. They counted over 100 bullet holes in the truck they shot in. Fortunately, miraculously, the two ladies were not harmed. Miraculously. Miraculously.
Multiple issues I have with that. For one, they're shooting 2 innocent people, right?
Yeah.
100 rounds, that's excessive.
At training though.
And they fucking miss.
Yeah.
Yo, they were the guys from the movies, man. They were the bad guys in the movies.
And they're just ducking inside the car, like, just somehow
The crazy
surviving.
thing is, not only that all that occurred, the color of the trucks were different. They didn't match Dorner's color. They didn't
just
match the
fucking-
make. They didn't match the make.
What?
Wow,
And-
man.
That's insane.
So, oh, it's a truck?
Were they on drugs?
Are they-
They probably were on drugs. They probably just fucking going wild.
The
cowboy.
officers?
Yeah.
I can't.
They probably
say.
They
just
didn't
fucking
get reprimanded for
just-
that? Like, Jesus, that's insane.
Like, yo, let's go get this motherfucker.
They're probably like coked up, fucking hitting the pee.
Dude, man, that is insane.
Jeez. American cops, man.
How the fuck have I never heard about this? I feel like very, like, unaware right now.
Yeah, I bet you there's like hundreds of stories like that in the States, though, man.
Okay.
Maybe not hundreds,
Yo,
but probably a couple.
Well, no, I guarantee you, over the years, man.
just to do justice to what Dorner's manifesto was, and I don't condone killing other people to get other action done generally, and not even in this case with Dorner's situation, because I don't know the full story. But just to let know what he really did it for, let me read a part of excerpt from his manifesto. Unfortunately, this is okay. He stated, "I know most of you who personally know me are in disbelief to hear from media reports that I am suspected of committing such horrendous murders and have taken drastic and shocking actions in the last couple days. Unfortunately, this is a necessary evil that I do not enjoy but must partake in complete for substantial change to occur within the LAPD and reclaim my name. The department has not changed since the Rampart and Rodney King days. It has gotten worse." That's why he did it. And you look at the conduct of the LAPD and how they pursued Dorner. Let's not.
Wait, what year was this?
This occurred in 2013. So this was 7 years
Okay.
ago. So if you don't even consider Dorner's motivations, but you just consider the LAPD's
how they went
conduct,
about it.
how they went about it, and in such a way that, because it might have been fueled by the fact that because Dorner had gotten their own blue, they had more zeal in capturing or assigning justice to Dorner, right? That when you see all the things that are being talked about and how the police treat people and how they protect their own, that where there's smoke, there's fire. I think, while I don't disagree with Bill that there's way bigger things to be done, that there are such strong things that are happening in America because of the police.
Yeah.
That if they can just fucking sort this out, maybe they can start focusing on other stuff. And I do see it as like, this isn't an ever-ending war. I do see this wrapping up in some near like future, and it's gonna be progressive. Some states, some cities, some counties will be.
And like,
more at it.
I'm not even saying that we
But-
shouldn't talk about it either. Like, it could even go, like, it could even dovetail really nicely into what we need to be doing. But I'm just saying, like, just from my point of view, from what I've seen so far, it looks, I was gonna say, like, it looks like it looks okay. So like, there's the police issue, which is really like what you explained is just like a really real thing, right? But it just, from the outside, from my perspective, it looks like they're piggybacking off of racism, and they're flaring up all this emotion and making it way more like confusing and crazy than it really had us to be.
Okay, I want to say something. So, like, what I notice just from watching all these videos and stuff on Instagram or whatever of like racist people, or like white people that are being racist, they're generally racist, like you can tell, obviously, by their actions. They're usually older, right? Like, you rarely see, or at least from what I see, is I feel like the younger generation is a lot less racist than.
Unless you grew up in like a fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Even so, they probably are going to be influenced by the peers to think otherwise, right? Like, even if their parents were very racist. Like, I do believe that through the next couple generations, we will see like a drastic difference in.
Yeah. Do you think that racism will just get aged
And
out as
I
the
think so. I
generations
believe
come
so.
by?
I
For
think
the
it
most
was.
part.
I think it was in the
But
process of getting aged out.
I still think there's still going to be a fair amount of races
At least
in
No.
the next couple of generations.
Well, yeah, maybe in the next.
Yeah.
Like by fair amount, I mean at least double digits, like
Yeah.
even
I
15%.
I think maybe more realistically is maybe like in decades it'll be phased out
Yeah,
completely.
decades. Maybe like.
But like realistically, it's within our means. Like if you went for that, if we all got together and we took advantage of this like opportunity to really change like systemically, like I'm saying, man, it could be a lot quicker than that. I think you get that result that you want, you get it in like a fucking year. Like say it took a year to just completely systemically change anything, it would probably take longer. But I'm just saying hypothetically, just say it took a year. Well, as soon as everything's changed and people have had time to adapt to that change, say 3 years, theoretically, like racism should just be gone. Like it should just be gone. It shouldn't exist unless unless some assholes like, oh, I'm gonna keep being racist. Well, everyone's gonna be like, "Alright, fuck you, asshole. You're
I
like the
think-
only one."
everybody knows he's
I
an
think that's
asshole.
pretty optimistic. I think
Well, it's totally
like
optimistic.
what
but-
when we say racism gone, we're really talking about like 99.8 people aren't racist.
Yeah.
There's always going to be like a 0.001.
and there's still might,
Yeah.
even with what I just said, there
Yeah.
still might need to be that phasing out period because obviously there's gonna be racist people still alive.
But it's just that they'll have zero power because
But they'll
everybody
have-
Yeah, they'll have zero
call
power,
them on
yeah.
it. Like,
They'll have no
okay,
power.
Yeah.
on another note, I want to talk about Chris D'Elia.
Chris,
Okay. You gotta fill me in because I don't even know.
no,
Who,
yeah, filling the situation for Billy and the viewers.
yeah.
Okay, so I don't know too much, but essentially he was accused of grooming young underage women and getting nude photos, right? I think this took place maybe like the accusations would have taken place like 9 years ago, and
7 to 9 years ago,
7 to 9 years ago.
depending on the accuser.
And then Chris D'Elia made a statement essentially saying that he has never pursued underage women, and all of his relationships have been consensual, and that he has never met nor exchanged photos with the people who tweeted about him. And Chris has already been taken off the roster of one show, I believe, that he was supposed to be
Yeah,
on.
he's lost a lot of contracts, media deals.
And he's essentially
Sponsorships.
getting lynched, right? My feeling on this is that obviously if he did do these things, then he deserves what he's getting. But, like what happened till like innocent until proven guilty? Like why
For sure.
why do people just automatically lynch him instead of actually, proving it first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's he has co-stars like from the show You and Whitney Cummings who have just kind of somewhat slandered him now, and
Fuck Whitney Cummings.
but
I'm saying it right now.
And I want to
man.
make this clear, like if
Say it
Chris,
louder.
if Chris is
Fuck that
guilty,
dude.
then obviously he deserves to have repercussions for that. But I don't think it's fair for people to ruin someone's career out of allegations, because then it's become too easy to do that. If somebody
Yeah.
just doesn't like you in the industry, they could just
It's
get a few
it's
people to tweet about you, and then you're done.
I think it's like a lot of it's twofold for like for example like his coworkers and people that in his circle that just so quick to throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Is one, it makes them relevant. Two, it kind of protects their image.
For sure, yeah.
And three, it draws
Protects their image.
attention to themselves, and then kind of make like I said, I guess.
I'm the
make it-
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're saying it's like what I said earlier. They're afraid of being accused of enabling him or perhaps knowing that he was that way
Right.
and not saying anything. So then they automatically have to throw him under the bus, right? It's just like
No, they don't have to, but
in their minds, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
but if they just shut the fuck up and didn't say anything,
Yeah, and then
didn't,
waited,
and didn't have
right?
to be associated with it.
And then if it goes to court and then he is proven guilty, then you can fucking slander the shit out of him
Yeah.
if you want.
unless
Yeah,
you're associated with them and
Yeah.
you're scared of some truth coming out,
But it's like the whole thing with Kevin Hart, last year, I think with the Oscars.
you're just a bitch.
And then they bring up tweets that he made years ago,
Yeah.
and then everybody throws him under the bus, on media,
Yo, they're like kids in a schoolyard, man. Nothing
Yeah.
really
and it's just I give Kevin Hart props though, because he really
It's that
stood
mob
up for himself,
mentality, man.
and I feel like Kevin sort of survived it, in a way. But yeah, it's just
I didn't even know he went through shit, man.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
I think that's just depending on what you.
He's
consume
probably Kevin's
media-wise.
probably good, man, because Kevin has how many millions of fans? I bet
Oh,
you.
Kevin's doing fine now.
I bet you so many of those millions didn't.
It's like this, it's a scary phenomenon, you know, with this whole social media age that we live in. Like
Yeah.
this news, like public justice, you know, and manipulated through tweets or like public change.
with no accountability.
Right? No, that's so dangerous. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
without
saying.
even proven guilty, it's just allegations, and they're
Yeah.
already lynching them.
And then like you, essentially
And then
anybody
everyone
can do that to
forget, and then
anyone.
everyone forgets the
Exactly.
person that fucking made the big uproar.
Mhm.
They get away scot
any
free.
public
Nothing happens.
figure can be just taken out like nothing, man. Like
Not,
We could live in
not even
crazy
just public
times.
figures, but you even see it in
just amongst normal people.
in like normal
So-
normal people lives. Yeah,
Do you guys know the whole
Work-
thing with
work
the whole
politics and
gaming
shit.
Right? Yeah, people
streaming
getting fired and shit.
people make
um,
up bullshit.
scene right now and how they're having a Me Too fire as well? The whole gaming Twitch streaming community is on fire.
I don't watch any of that
You
shit.
You know
for what?
what's happening in this
So,
community.
this is to add on to the Delia stuff because the same thing's happening right now in the Twitch streaming community, where there's massive amounts of allegations being thrown out, and it's knocking down some people, it's knocking down others. The ones that have been knocked down have been proven because there's just such extensive evidence, and I think that's key in these kind of things, that there's extensive evidence.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. If there's no evidence and you're talking about the shit years later,
whole organizations have been destroyed from this, and now but the ones that have survived it have been guys in teams that have been like, no, we have proof, this is insane bullshit, and that's how they gone.
Okay,
and,
can you give me an example or like?
so one is like the Method organization. I don't even know.
this was not a good idea.
Pretty like stoked on it in the beginning.
Yeah, it was a good idea at first.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
They actually have a new idea.
Maybe the Flow Bros bomb is not a good idea. Fucking got way too high.
Is that in your way, man?
No, it's good.
I don't know if it'll stay like that though. Oh yeah, man.
Okay, so the Method.
It's a method or it's a process.
Method Man. METHOD man.
I gotta get close, man. I'm trying to roll
Method
a
and
joint
red?
here.
Nothing mad and red man.
There's a little bit of weed that I crumpled up.
Smoke that weed.
Oh, here's your phone.
So Method is an esports organization. They're a team.
Okay, they're
Um,
like a esports team.
Esports team, yeah.
Okay. What game do they play? Or do they play multiple games?
I think they play multiple games. I don't.
Okay.
I never watched them.
Legends, fucking Dota.
I don't. I can look up.
Yo,
for
what's popping these days? What's
Yeah, what's
competitive gaming?
going on, bro?
There's like Valorant and shit. No, there's a lot of
Valorant,
games.
the
You
fuck?
just go on Twitch and look at the most popular games.
Nah.
I actually wouldn't be able to answer for you.
I don't want to disrespect
Precisely.
anybody, but I never really got the whole idea of like going to a stadium to watch people play video games
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like paying for that shit. It's
Yeah,
like,
the
yo, you can
stadiums
just
a bit
watch
much.
them on your stream shit, like
Yeah.
free,
Unless,
like-
unless it's a live competition.
But like,
Well,
you're
yeah,
fucking
that's
sitting there
what they
playing
do.
video games.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's like commentary.
Okay, but
and then you're watching what they're doing,
okay,
like, all
I gotta defend them on this a little bit. There's a bit of a culture to it. So like, growing
Right.
up playing in like LAN cafes, you develop this kind of like competitive culture where it's like it's personal. You right up in their face kind of shit.
That's
And-
true.
okay,
I
but
know
like-
what you mean.
Like yeah, and it's
So I
like it's like you fucking own them and you're seeing them like all personal. So it's like
Yeah, okay.
and then you get attached to them because it's like oh he's fucking so and so and he's so pro. But
I
I
can-
get where you're coming from. too.
I can get that, like,
Yeah.
so I get them like in the same room competing,
It is
okay,
kinda
like I
silly.
get that, but then fucking having like that shit that to me is just seems like
They could have just streamed it or something.
Yeah,
What if
exactly.
they're fans of some of the streamers
they wanna meet them and
com-
shit?
But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but I
absolutely.
mean,
guess,
but-
I guess,
but
yeah,
hey,
they do
but-
kind of like idolize them and
Oh,
shit,
dude,
right?
100%.
But dude, yo, look,
Yeah.
and I kind of disagree. As much as I like games, I just think right now, I don't know. I'm not gonna
There's
get,
even some streamers I'm like, yo, I respect this guy. Like, and
Yeah,
I'm not even like
this
that
motherfucker is
hardcore.
good.
Yeah, he's
Like-
good, and I can see if someone who's super
Smash
into that
games
game
and
would
shit.
like see him as like a god or something. like,
Yeah, I
gotta
guess.
see him, like, see him.
Like, I want to see this motherfucker.
I think it'd be-
I want to see him play. I want to see fucking his hands move.
I think
man.
it'd be way cooler in VR though. Like once VR gaming gets like really
Oh,
crazy.
you could like
Oh.
play with like see.
But they
meet
played
your
that Player
fucking-
One
Be
shit.
there-
You could like meet Beyonce in VR.
Yo,
You could be his third person cam just following.
I don't know why the
Yeah,
fuck I
it's
use
true.
You
Beyonce.
can
as a
choose whoever you
fucking
want to
sound.
watch.
That's
and, like-
weird.
Or you can watch the whole match like scope that way.
You can just imagine like VR digital like Roman Coliseum. Everyone's just like logs in and then they're watching like whatever competition in VR with
That'll
like, in there.
be
Dude,
for real.
yeah.
Like some I don't know whatever tournament.
They probably already got some
Oh,
shit
you
like
got
that.
fucking like unicorns and fucking
Everyone's got their avatar.
centaurs.
Like,
Oh, dude.
you know.
Dude, that is the future,
that is,
bro.
that is the
like,
future, dude.
oh, man, I'm gonna have a sick ass avatar. That's for sure.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Dude, my avatar's gonna be like Yoda, like this small character that's like super fucking agile
Yeah.
and just like what I mean. So it, like makes up for the fact that it's like super
So there's
Just start brainstorm.
like super old, but like
There's Method
wild
Josh.
for like a long time and shit.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
this guy Method. Oh man, this shit's fucked up. Okay, so there's this dude Josh in Method. Several girls came out with rape allegations against him.
Josh, is he a fucking team leader or something?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
sorry.
know. Sorry. I don't know enough about the organization to really comment. And
Sounds like a dick.
Josh, see anybody named Josh?
Every Josh I've known has been a dick.
It's gonna be fucking giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. I've always had a
Josh.
little bit of static with
What's his
Josh.
nameism?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some nameism. Sorry, man. It's probably there's probably like every other Josh.
Got
probably
prejudice
cool.
against Joshes, bro? The fuck? What's
Nah,
wrong with
just-
Joshua?
Just talking shit.
No, but just it's somewhat true.
he
I don't really believe
the
that.
allegations against him is that he groomed several underage girls
I can see that on the
through
online
Discord and Snapchat.
game
Okay.
community.
Into
He probably did though.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay,
they
fine.
have ample evidence.
Yeah.
Like they have
Josh
all,
seems
they
like a guy
saved
that
all
would
the
do some
stuff
shit
and all
like
that.
man.
Fucking
Um,
Josh.
Fucking
I know you
Josh,
did it.
dude.
Kidding.
Yeah, I know you did, Josh.
You know what you did last
You
summer.
automatically are guilty.
So there's just a lot of graphic reports
can
by
get
the
Yeah, fuck that guy.
the women
Yeah.
involved themselves.
Right.
Which kudos to them. A lot of courage to put out such graphic and detailed accounts of their experience online for people to read. But they
It's the
They
only
did
way
the
to
right
prove it,
thing.
man, yeah.
So
But
yeah.
that's like, see, the thing is that like this is how you do it
Properly.
Like I know this is so fucked up hearing. I just want to say for like women hearing this, for a guy saying this is how you go about conducting proving your rape, because that's a really fucked up thing for them to probably hear coming from a guy.
Yeah, I know.
Like
That's
it's like
I don't wanna come
mansplaining
off
at its
wrong.
worst. But I just want to say like
Well,
if there's the evidence,
they've
this
already
is
made
how
it
you.
public by doing the Me Too thing. So it's like if you're gonna make it public and you want to sell it, you got to give the evidence.
like the
Yeah.
truth is a lot of the
But
accusations
with
are
the Krista
true.
Eula stuff,
Yeah.
like from what I've read, like the evidence is not proven of anything other than that he
And
hits
why-
on chicks, finds out they're 17, backs away. There's even one incident showing where he hits on this chick. They start exchanging messages. She tells him she's 17. He backs off. He messages a year later to the dude or some shit. He's like, hey. So it's like, okay, look.
And then that's when
Is
they
he a
say-
perv? Yes, Chris is probably a massive fucking
That's
perv.
what they call grooming then. Think about it.
that is what they call grooming.
That's what
Is
they're
that
calling
grooming?
grooming.
That is what they call.
Or is
grooming.
that just like?
'Cause it's like
oh,
when you see
yeah.
he's chatting them up when they're 17.
That's no. Okay, so
It's not-
so,
in
so,
my opinion, that's not grooming, but-
If that's the one
guys.
case. If that's the one.
There's a
time.
blurred. There's not necessarily a blurred line, but there's a difference between doing that where Chris did versus
Okay.
let's say this Josh guy. He sent, holy shit,
No,
cute
there's
hoodie.
not-
I'm hard
there's
as
not.
fuck to be honest.
There's not,
What
because-
else are you into, cutie? And he starts talking about graphic detail and
It
shit.
depends. It depends. If this has happened, if 20 out of 30 times was this, they were young and then they became 18. Then he's like, hey. If it's like the common theme, then no, it's the same thing.
Yeah. If it's a common thing where Chris is doing it.
Yeah, I think so. If
Well, no, but I think it's the conduct. I think it depends. Like if he backed off right away, it was like,
maybe he's
"Oh,
not
my
aware
bad."
of it. Maybe he wasn't.
And then
aware
he
of it,
hits
but-
up a year later, but there's no interaction between them.
I think that's fair.
I don't think you can
So
call
if
that
it's
grooming.
one case,
Yeah, I
it's
don't think you
not.
can call
No,
that.
That's-
you plant the seed. He made the relationship. He had the number. He had everything.
No.
But you have to actively kind of tend to it.
Not
Like you have to
necessarily.
do, the
Yeah, that's
grooming is
grooming.
like an
You have
active
to
like
take
Yeah,
care
yeah,
of
that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
Versus just like, hey,
Okay,
it's
there's
a
one
I'm
off.
17. Oh,
Okay,
bye.
guys, hold on.
And then,
Okay.
obviously, you know.
Okay, maybe
You-
maybe the
Rory,
word.
Rory has the conch. Let him talk.
So it's like, my opinion is that
Spacing effect.
talking to a girl and then she tells you she's 17 and then you back off and then a year later, that's not grooming. But like I said, if he's continuing doing that, then he's obviously like has an attraction for these younger girls,
Yeah.
and then he's just waiting because he knows that legally he has to, right?
Yeah.
But like still, his intention might be a bit bad, right? But
That's
yeah.
not grooming.
That's not grooming.
Well, it's not
necessarily.
grooming in like the formal sense, but like I'm just saying if it's,
Grooming is like shit Tyga did, or like you know,
Well,
kind
no,
of
I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but it's not grooming. Okay, so maybe grooming is not the best word for it, but it's a similar effect. Like you could plant the seed of something. You can put the idea into someone's head,
yeah. Like when I turn 18,
and
I
then
can get with
and then
people.
in your mind you know that when the time comes that it's already been planted and you could take it. You don't need to be actively
But
fucking
since
watering
they are
it.
18,
I'm not saying that's what he did.
You know what's
how
funny?
How many times did he do it?
I saw like
I'm just saying you can do that. Like you can definitely do that.
I saw a meme
It's
about
like
Chris
some
D'Elia,
girls, I
like
guess.
at least like a couple weeks ago before I heard, or no, like before I heard anything about this allegations and shit.
yeah.
And it was like basically like it probably started because of the allegations. I just hasn't seen them yet. But like it's funny because I was like, what the fuck is this about, right? Like it's about him like, oh he's like the meme was like a picture of Chris and it's like, oh no baby, don't turn 18, you're so sexy. And then like I was like, okay, like and because Chris has played at least 2 characters that were pedophiles, right? So I figured it was based on maybe those characters that he's
case.
No,
no.
help its case when I think about it. Because when you think about Louis C.K. with his masturbation shit, right?
man,
You realize his stand-up was projection.
Yeah.
His stand-up was just talking
Yeah.
about literally what he fucking did.
That's what I-
And then when you think about Chris, you're like, oh,
He's just
no.
art imitates reality.
Yeah. But then again, that's
He's
just
a
that's
pedophile.
a funny joke.
Yeah,
We're going down.
Well,
Yo, but
We are
Louis C.K.
mirrors.
is another one. Like
We are mirrors of our.
Louis C.K.'s kind of a gray area because like what I heard was that he actually asked the women if he could jerk off in front of them, and they're
And they said, okay, but you gotta. I think there's also the counter argument to that, just for the sake of letting it be known, is that they would say, but he's the much more mature comic in the industry. He might be able to get like they felt like their jobs might depend on
Right,
allowing
yeah.
him to
jerk
off in front of them to
Right,
get off
yeah.
on this. So they're like,
so
okay,
he
well,
uses power.
we'll let him do this because we don't want to say no, and then he might not like us later.
Yeah. See, that's the problem because I'm a
Or something
man.
like that.
I
Or like
can,
they're not they might not like us later, but that their jobs might be at risk because they said no.
yeah, like I find myself
Yeah.
definitely insensitive to things sometimes because like they don't affect me on a personal level,
A job's not their life. They
and
could
so
just do
maybe
something else.
you know.
But I don't think people should be subjected to have someone jerk off in front of them to keep their job.
Yeah, I know, but if someone's like that, do you really want to work for them?
Yeah, I guess not. But
There's lots of other shit to do, man. You're just doing that to take advantage of an opportunity because you're too uncreative to fucking do anything else.
no,
what if you
it's
jerk
not
off in
about
front
them
of
being
you?
uncreative. It's not
And you're just
about,
like you're just trying to get your career going, and then you're like, fuck it, like
Well,
that's
go ahead,
pretty
bro.
presumptive to say.
I would
uncreative.
maybe be a little, I would maybe be a little traumatized, but I wouldn't just fucking.
Would you go along with it?
No. I wouldn't go along with it, and then like fucking 20. I don't know what the time period on this guy was, but
It probably wasn't that long, right?
I don't know what this one was, but it's like, why would you? I don't know. Why wouldn't you say something when that happened if it bothered you so much?
Yeah.
Like you, I almost, and again,
But then you
Well,
could say
I
that
think at
they're
the time
afraid
it
or-
seemed like the air in Hollywood was that
And did not people-
you speaking against out the stuff didn't work in your favor. Not until Weinstein got fucking axed that,
Well, and you
that
also-
people realized, oh, we can speak about against it and something will happen.
and that's what I was about to say is like,
Yeah.
they go into this knowing that you can't speak out because all this shit's probably already known. They probably already knew this guy was a scum. They knew what they were getting themselves into, man.
That I can't speak for because that's like at this point we're talking about people and their motivations and what they did when we're not them, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's not enough public evidence of what they stated to make concrete judgments and inferences.
Well,
from
and
it.
it-
Like
and it
truly,
goes-
Well,
what
they're all
their
grown-ups,
position-
aren't they? These are not kids that he was dealing with. These are all grown.
It
fucking-
goes back to what you
True,
said.
but the thing is that like
we still can't speak for them.
you can't.
I'm not
for them, yeah.
speaking for them,
Right.
but it's just like, if these are grown people, they should be able to maneuver for themselves, and you're just evaluating what were their options.
But like
What
what Brandon
options did
said.
they
But like, what if they didn't have a career in comedy after that, and what would they do? Like,
Again, that's their belief that they had that was their only option. But what was their option?
well, okay, but let me ask you then. With Weinstein, how do you feel? Like, do you feel?
I actually don't really know because I.
But with Weinstein, do you feel like it's fair to the allegations of rape where he like forced himself on people and like?
I really don't know because I didn't look into
Okay.
Weinstein.
Yeah, it goes back to what you said about like they're afraid of losing their career. Like if that's why they allowed it in the first place, then that's why they didn't speak up about it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
they like it's like, oh, like you allowed it to happen because
then-
you're afraid of losing your job or whatever. Why would you then like the next day go speak up about it? You know what I mean? Like because you're still gonna lose you're still gonna be in fear
They,
of
feel,
losing
they
your
felt like
job.
they might get ostracized by the community because
Yeah.
it happens in Hollywood. Hollywood does
Yeah, I
it all
know,
the time for.
but
It's just
different
now
groups of
that it's
people.
What I'm
like
saying
more
is-
acceptable.
What I'm
to
saying
come out
is,
about it.
like, not the why did you not speak up after, but why did you even? You knew what you were doing. Like, why did you engage in it? You could have just fucking walked out of there.
But this
It sucks that you didn't get your fucking job right there when you wanted it, but
yeah, fair, but like I don't know.
it wasn't your only. It wasn't the end of the world.
I think that's
It was-
just more of a matter of subjective opinion of what they should have done versus what happened.
Yeah, and like when you're in a situation necessarily like
You can't think rationally sometimes.
logically,
in
yeah.
those-
This guy just asked
This
you
guy's
if I
fucking-
You
can
might get
whip
taken
his-
off guard. You didn't expect
I'd
it
be
to
taken off
happen.
guard, man.
Yeah, it's like this guy
Like,
just whipped his
what,
dick
you
out.
wanna-
Hey, is it alright if I
you wanna
go?
jerk off in front of me?
And you're just like,
I don't know, man, like,
you
hey,
just
man.
get shocked, like, what the fuck's
you
going
give
on?
it for sure, give me a
Whatever.
promote or you can give me a
Yeah,
gig.
If that's passable for people, that's on them. I can't speak.
Yeah, no,
like you
exactly,
said,
that's
I
on
can't
them,
speak for other people.
but-
But if grown ass adults can't,
Yeah, but with that logic,
Can't think
then
for
everyone
themselves.
would be making
No,
the
but
most logical decisions all the time.
One thing I
That's
really
the
want to
point.
strike home here is that one thing I feel like when we discuss things that happen in the past, in the present, is that we lose
how could
their present their historical context, because you have to remember they came out after Weinstein, right? So not coming out before Weinstein, there's very ample cultural like kind of like evidence saying that like if he had came out, nothing would have happened. Like it wouldn't be like they risked everything for nothing, right? But after Weinstein, they knew, okay, there is force behind in doing this. We feel comfortable in coming out now. Like that's the reason why they may have not came out then, because they knew that even if they did come out,
the only
nothing
way
would
I
have
could
happened.
the only way I could really defend, and you know I'm not even trying to get into this. I'm not even trying to fucking attack anybody. But the only way I really could like go against what I was saying is if we start talking about like maybe society was in a sense grooming these people to be conditioned to be put in these positions where they really believed that was like they felt cornered. You know what I mean? So they believed they were cornered, so they did what they did. And
Yo guys, I just had like a vision of us sitting in a boardroom in like a big ass office that we own.
that would be nice. I would love that.
Just going over shit.
Smoking
CEO
weed.
boss
Yeah, smoking
styles.
fat. I didn't envision that, but
No, we
now I'm putting that in the
Add
vision.
that in there.
I'm adding that to the vision.
Yeah.
Maybe a fucking little handful of shrooms in there.
Do you guys want to go for a toke break?
Yeah, let's
Toe
do it.
break.
You guys
Recharge.
come look at this.
Fuck yeah.
Come look at this.
We're gonna smoke some weed and we'll be back.
We're gonna smoke some weed and get a little more slow.
Slow down.
Dope. That's dope.
Toke break.
Toe break.
Down.
Do you have any viewers?
No.
No.
Oh, like, I was anxious about getting on live. Like, any viewers?
Oh, we have one viewer right now.
No way.
Yeah.
Can you see? Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it?
we have two, I think.
Fuck are you?
No way.
Well, there's three watching.
Oh shit! There's fucking 3 of you.
Let's see. Let me see.
How are they in chat? Let's check it out.
Chat them up.
Well, I feel like
Why
we
is it
shouldn't
saying
leave
this
now
on
because we got people watching us.
Zero.
Like,
Back to zero, right?
no, it says 3 watching right now, man.
Oh, what the?
Yeah,
Why
let's
is it so
change.
laggy?
Oh, I put it at lowest because I didn't want to use the bandwidth for.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, go.
Oh! What happened? What happened?
D Jack full.
Always
Always
watching.
Thank you.
Well, you know what we could do? I could just move the setup with us.
I was gonna say, can you take the camera out?
Okay, well, yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't
I would have to move.
But it's not gonna stream.
Okay, no.
Just fucking leave it.
No,
Don't
yeah.
fuck with it. Don't fuck with it. We'll be back.
No, we can actually move it. We can move everything but the audio. But then that would be kind of pointless. Okay, sorry folks, we're taking a smoke break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.